It seems so easy when you aren't actually trying. Just write, you say. Put your feelings into words. But what happens when you have no earthly idea what those feelings are? I am alone, I know that. But that isn't a feeling, it's a description of my geographical status versus the rest of humanity at the moment. How I feel about that fact is a different matter altogether. A matter which I can't discuss any more than the matter of matter itself. That's to say, I'm not an expert on my own feelings any more than I'm a scientist. I know I'm alone, but I don't know how it affects me. Is that what you wanted, Doctor? An essay on how I don't know my own feelings? You told me to write about being alone. I have done that. You told me to write about him. I can do that, but I need to address how broad of an instruction that really is. Writing about him could mean writing a list of demographic facts. It could mean describing him physically, or writing down all his stories of his childhood. That would take a while in itself. He liked to tell stories, you know. Maybe you don't know. It always amazed me how many people didn't know that about him. How do you not know that someone likes to do the thing that they most often do? Maybe I should write about the him that was with me. Is that what you meant, Doctor? That him was the most complicated version of him, I think. Certainly the most illogical. He didn't belong with me. Then again, he didn't belong anywhere. That's why he could go everywhere. No one rejected him because no one could truly claim him. Not even me. Least of all me. The only thing we had in common is that we both threw darts to determine our future. He threw them at maps, I threw them at career paths. As it turned out, it's easier to change location every couple of months than it is to do the same with careers. I guess that's why he was a success, and I was just the one who was with him. But I was a success too. Being with him was my success. Or maybe your two instructions weren't separate, but a single instruction. Write about being alone and write about him. Write about being alone without him. And here, Doctor, that's where I can't follow your instructions. How do I write about something I don't yet believe in? How can I write? I can write truth, and I can write fiction. But how do I write truth that my mind rejects as fiction? How do I classify it? If I'm alone because he's not here, he must be elsewhere. And he is not elsewhere. So I can't be alone. So, for now I'll separate what you meant to be combined. I'll write about him, because there's so much more to say about him than about being alone. So much more life in the words themselves. That was him, really, the life in the words. Other people say words that are made out of letters and found in a dictionary. His words were made out of something that hasn't quite been defined. They would never allow themselves to be confined to dusty pages. I'm a writer, this month at least. I string together words for a living, but he didn't just string them together. He taught them how to be alive. I used to think he taught me the same thing, but can you really consider a lesson to be learned if it's only remembered when the teacher is present? I'm getting nowhere, so I'll confine myself to facts. I met him 5 years ago. We were at a gathering of online video bloggers. That month I'd chosen video production as my lifelong profession. He had chosen California as his lifelong home. There were a lot of famous people there, and neither one of us were famous, so we found comfort in that connection. As I recall, we formed a rather famous group of non-famous people. Our group had him in it, so soon everyone had heard about it. Things just seemed to happen that way when he was involved. We soon gained so much fame in our non-famousness that we were asked to participate in a panel at the conference. The organizers decided to choose two from our group to represent us. They chose him for obvious reasons. They chose me because he insisted on it. I don't know why. It was the first time I ever saw him be illogical. It's something he continued to do throughout the 5 years I knew him. I never figured out why. His lack of logic seemed to be related to his proximity to me. How can that be right when it's what took him from me? If my presence clouded his judgment, how did his logic fail him the most when he was furthest from me? I won't deny the fact that he was in love with me. He was in love, and he had me there. So one thing followed another. Mainly because he liked to shorten 2 sentences into one. He'd always do that. I like California. Raisins are shriveled up grapes. I like California's shriveled up parts. The new sentence would never come out like you expect. You were expecting a band, California, raisins. He gave you Death Valley, California's shriveled up parts. He was in love with me because I was Death Valley. No one expecting me. The panel thing was successful. We became so famous we were no longer qualified to be in our own group. So we made a new one, a me and him group. We kept talking in panels and kept following his darts around the map. I traded my revolving careers in for writing. It's the most mobile thing I could think of, and I refused to let him leave me behind. I should have stuck to that refusal. What I saw isn't relevant now. I will tell the truth of it when asked. But it's not the important part. The important part is that I listened when the suit said I should go away. For my own safety, they said, until I could tell what I saw. He agreed. I usually did what he asked, but I could have contradicted her. I've contradicted him before. I've contradicted him. I was realistic enough to see he was wrong sometimes, and I usually had the guts to point those times out to him, but this time he was wrong, and I said nothing. I went where the suits told me because they said they would protect me, and leaving would protect him. A lot of wrongs altogether. He'd call it a pile of wrongs. He'd like to pile up ideas like laundry. He liked to play games with words like that, laundry piles of hope and celebrity and despair and freedom. He was the one who called them suits, even to their faces. He told them to take me away, and they listened. Everyone does. He called the other ones guns, I'm sure, to their faces. He should have told them he never heard of me, that they would have believed him. Everyone does. So, Doctor, have I written enough about him? Do you have enough information to give the judge your opinion? I left him so I could help the suits catch the guns, but in the end, he has left me with are words, and it's up to you, Doctor, to decide if enough of my mind is left to use these words to turn justice into something more than dirty laundry. Alright, that was a story I wrote, completely fictional story I wrote, and hope you understood it. Okay, bye.